So Dharmesh, can you explain the difference between data lake and data warehouse, please?
Sure, and here I've been using this taxonomy over here. So let me go into a little bit of detail about what I mean by data lake. Now, data lake is basically a storage repository which stores raw data. Period. I mean, any kind of structured, unstructured data is getting stored into raw format. Mostly unstructured data we are talking about in data lake side, where images and documents and all of those things are stored in a very raw format. What is the advantage of that? Is basically it is a cost-effective solution, and it gives you entire kind of flexibility about because we are not creating any or we are not transforming that into a different format. It kind of gives us capability to create our own transformation, create our own analytical model out of it. It's agile, kind of continuous improving. It is not a kind of a one-time story. It's a data lake. It's kind of keep on growing, and it creates it gives you a way of faster accessing of the data. It's not kind of not dependent on any other limitations around it. And then comes in data warehouse, which goes into a little bit more structured kind of thing, which require this. Most of us are familiar with this language called ETL, which is we extract the data out of different systems, structured mostly or semi-structured, and we transform them into a usable format. So we transform them into different kind of tables and models and things that can be used further. And then we load it into a system called data warehouse. And the data warehouse is basically that central repository which collects all of these data into a consumable format. And then there are interfaces available to data warehouse that can go into that can be used by different analysts to create different analytical model, different BI developers to create different kind of reporting, different kind of systems available for data scientists to create data mining kind of solutions out of it. So that's where the data warehouse is an important. As we are moving along and as the things have kind of progressed within our industry, we realize that there is a big value of having a data warehouse, and there is a big value of having a data lake storage. Now, when we start combining those two things together, and that's where this thing, which we call it as a modern data warehouse, comes into play. In the modern data warehouse, a massive amount of data can be stored either in data lake or in a data warehouse, but it can be transformed anytime by analysts without waiting or without the need of waiting for data engineers to come in or IT to come in to create different kind of schemas over here. Important thing, like the ETL got transformed into something called ELT, where the focus is more around extract and load, and then giving different kind of runtime capabilities for transforming the data so that it can be used for different kind of purposes. You get benefit of both the worlds. You have data lake storage, you have data warehouse capabilities, which kind of gives you a kind of a uniform view across all the data available within the organization. It gives you real-time insight capabilities. It gives you a machine learning environment that data scientists can use across not only the structured data or semi-structured data, but across the data, including the unstructured data as well. So getting into a few examples of modern data warehouses. I mean, when we talk about modern data warehouse, there are a few examples of things that I would like to present. Some of them are kind of well-known, well-known brands over here. Microsoft has a product called Azure Synapse Analytics. It used to be called Microsoft Azure SQL Data Warehouse. They added a bunch of capabilities into it, and they started branding this product as Azure Synapse Analytics, which kind of gives you the overall capabilities of modern data warehouse. Google has a system called Google BigQuery. It's a very similar system, giving you most of the capabilities available that needs to be available with modern data warehouse. Amazon has a similar solution called Redshift, and then there is an upcoming and a kind of a rapidly expanding solution which is called Snowflake. Please feel free to Google around these things and go into the details about each of them. Let me talk quickly about Azure Synapse and how kind of it brings in together the value of data lake and data warehouse together. An important thing, I mean, as we started this whole journey about data-driven organization, we talked about how do we make, how do we democratize the data and make the data easily available for use. So Azure Synapse is one of the modern data warehouse, which kind of focuses on ease of use, ease of access. It kind of gives you capabilities around exploring into different kind of data sets that become part of this whole Azure Synapse to give you a quick way of exploring the solutions, exploring the data kind of thing. It also gives you a capability of quickly starting. You don't have to wait for full implementation of certain things. You can start at any given time with whatever data is available, whatever data and transformation has done, and you can start going in it. There's the important aspect when we started this whole talk. We talked about like there are security and there is the privacy aspect of it that we need to worry about. There are things about the reliability of the information that we need to take care of. And Azure Synapse provides a uniform interface, or very kind of a familiar interface, which kind of gives you both the not only just the capabilities around these things, but also giving you that kind of control around the data access.